Hello, thank you for joining me today. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, thank you for inviting me. My name is David, and I enjoy learning and teaching English. Today, I would like to share some simple but effective ways for beginners to learn English. Many people believe that English is difficult, but I think everyone can learn it if they use the right methods and practice every day. You don't need to be a genius or spend a lot of money. What you really need is patience, consistency, and the willingness to make mistakes. Every fluent English speaker was once a beginner, so don't be afraid to start from zero.
Is English difficult for beginners?
It can feel difficult at first because everything is new. You have to learn new words, new grammar rules, and a different pronunciation. However, the difficulty becomes smaller when you study step by step. Don't try to learn everything in one day. Instead, learn 5 to 10 new words every day, practice speaking simple sentences, and review what you have learned. If you continue doing this for several months, you will be surprised by your progress. Remember that learning a language is like building a house. You start with the foundation before adding the walls and the roof.
What is the first thing beginners should learn?
Beginners should start with the English alphabet, pronunciation, and basic vocabulary. Learn how to say each letter correctly because pronunciation is very important. After that, focus on common words that you use every day, such as greetings, numbers, colors, family members, food, days of the week, and simple verbs. These words appear in everyday conversations, so learning them first will help you understand English more quickly. You should also learn basic sentence patterns like I am, I have, I like, and I want. These simple structures allow you to create many useful sentences.
How many words should beginners learn every day?
I recommend learning about 5 to 10 new words each day. This number is small enough to remember but large enough to make steady progress. The important thing is not only learning new words but also reviewing old ones. If you learn 10 new words today but forget them tomorrow, your progress will be slow. Instead, review yesterday's words before learning today's new vocabulary. Try writing the words in a notebook, reading them aloud, and using them in sentences. Repetition is one of the best ways to improve your memory.
Should beginners study grammar first?
Grammar is important, but beginners should not spend all their time memorizing grammar rules. Instead, they should learn grammar naturally while reading, listening, and speaking. Start with the present simple tense, because it is the most commonly used tense in everyday English. Learn how to make positive sentences and questions. Practice with simple examples like, I go to school, she likes coffee, or they play football. Once you understand the basics, you can slowly move to more advanced grammar.
How can beginners improve their listening skills?
Listening is one of the most important skills because it helps you understand real English. Beginners should listen to slow and clear English first. There are many beginner-friendly videos, podcasts, and children's stories available online. Listen every day for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Focus on understanding the main idea. As your vocabulary grows, your listening ability will improve naturally. Try listening to the same audio several times because repetition helps your brain recognize words more easily.
What about speaking?
Speaking is often the most difficult skill because many learners are afraid of making mistakes. However, mistakes are a natural part of learning. Speak English every day, even if you are alone. Describe your room, your family, your daily routine, or your plans for tomorrow. You can also record your voice and listen to it later. This helps you notice your pronunciation and improve your confidence. If possible, practice with friends, teachers, or language partners. The more you speak, the more comfortable you will become.
Is reading important?
Yes, reading is extremely important because it increases your vocabulary and helps you understand sentence structure. Beginners should start with short stories, children's books, or simple English articles. Don't stop every time you see a new word. Try to guess the meaning from the context first. Then check the dictionary if necessary. Reading every day for just 15 minutes can make a big difference over time.
How should beginners practice writing?
Writing helps you organize your thoughts in English. Start by writing simple sentences about yourself. Then write short paragraphs about your hobbies, your family, your school, or your daily activities. Keep a daily journal in English. Even if you only write 5 sentences each day, your writing skills will improve gradually. Ask a teacher or use language learning tools to check your mistakes. so you can learn from them.
Thank you for sharing these wonderful tips.
You're very welcome. Remember, learning English is a journey, not a race. Study a little every day. Stay patient and never give up. Small daily improvements will eventually lead to great success. Many beginners feel shy when speaking English.
How can they overcome this fear?
This is one of the biggest challenges for language learners. Many people think they need perfect grammar or perfect pronunciation before they can speak, but that is not true. Confidence comes from practice, not perfection. The first step is to accept that making mistakes is normal. Every fluent English speaker has made thousands of mistakes while learning. Instead of worrying about being embarrassed, think of each mistake as a lesson. Try speaking English every day, even if it is only for 5 or 10 minutes. Stand in front of a mirror and introduce yourself. Talk about your family, your hobbies, your favorite food, or your plans for tomorrow. The more you practice, the more natural speaking will become. Don't compare yourself to advanced learners. Compare yourself to the person you were yesterday, and celebrate every small improvement.
Should beginners memorize vocabulary?
Memorizing vocabulary is helpful, but it should be done in the right way. Don't simply memorize long lists of words without understanding how they are used. Instead, learn words in groups or topics. For example, learn words about food, school, transportation, weather, or shopping. After learning a new word, immediately use it in a sentence. If you learn the word library, you can say, I study in the library every weekend. This helps your brain remember the word much better than memorizing it alone. Review your vocabulary regularly because repeated practice strengthens your memory.
Is watching English movies a good learning method?
Absolutely. Watching English movies, TV shows, and cartoons is an enjoyable way to improve your listening skills. Beginners should choose movies with simple conversations and use English subtitles instead of subtitles in their native language. Listen carefully to how native speakers pronounce words and express emotions. Pause the video when you hear useful expressions and repeat them aloud. You don't need to understand every sentence. Focus on learning common phrases that people use in daily conversations. Over time, your listening comprehension and pronunciation will improve naturally.
What about listening to English songs?
English songs are another excellent learning tool. Music helps people remember words and pronunciation because rhythm and melody make learning enjoyable. Choose slow songs with clear pronunciation. Read the lyrics while listening and try to sing along. Pay attention to new vocabulary and expressions. Singing also improves your pronunciation and speaking confidence. Although songs sometimes use informal language, they are still a fun way to increase your exposure to English. Female. Can reading books help beginners? Male. Yes, reading is one of the best habits for language learners. Beginners should start with books written for children or English learners because the vocabulary is simple and the sentences are short. Read slowly and try to understand the meaning without translating every word. If you meet a difficult word several times, write it in your notebook and review it later. Reading improves vocabulary, grammar, spelling, and comprehension all at the same time. Even reading one page every day can produce excellent results after several months.
How important is daily practice?
Daily practice is the secret to success. Learning English once a week is not enough if you want to improve quickly. Even 15 to 30 minutes every day is much more effective than studying for several hours only once a week. Consistency trains your brain to remember the language. Create a simple daily routine. For example, spend 10 minutes reviewing vocabulary, 10 minutes listening to English, and 10 minutes speaking or writing. These small habits will create steady progress over time.
Many people forget new words quickly.
What should they do? Forgetting is completely normal. The key is repetition. Review new vocabulary several times during the first week after learning it. Use flashcards, vocabulary notebooks, or language learning apps to test yourself. More importantly, use the words in real conversations and writing. When you actively use a word, your brain remembers it much longer. Don't be discouraged if you forget some words. Simply review them again. Language learning is a process of remembering, forgetting, and remembering again until the knowledge becomes permanent.
Should beginners translate everything into their native language? At the beginning, translation can be helpful.
But learners should gradually think directly in English. For example, when you see an apple, try to think apple instead of translating it into your native language first. This helps your brain build direct connections with English vocabulary. As your level improves, try reading simple texts and understanding the meaning without translating every sentence. Thinking in English will make your speaking faster and more natural.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to become fluent?
My advice is simple. Be patient, stay consistent, and never give up. Fluency does not happen overnight. It is the result of small daily improvements over many months and years. Set realistic goals, such as learning 10 new words each day, reading one short article, listening to one English podcast, or speaking for 10 minutes. Track your progress and reward yourself when you reach your goals. Most importantly, enjoy the learning process. When you enjoy studying, you will continue even when it becomes challenging.
Thank you very much for these helpful ideas.
You're welcome. Remember that every expert was once a beginner. If you continue practicing every day with confidence and determination, you'll gradually become a strong English speaker. Success belongs to those who never stop learning. Some people study English for months, but still don't see much improvement.
Why does this happen?
There are several reasons why this happens. The first reason is inconsistency. Many learners study very hard for 1 or 2 days and then stop for a week. Language learning requires regular practice. Even 20 or 30 minutes every day is better than studying 5 hours only once a week. The second reason is that some learners focus only on grammar or only on vocabulary while ignoring the other skills. To become a good English speaker, you must practice listening, speaking, reading, and writing together. Another common reason is fear. Many people understand English but are afraid to speak because they worry about making mistakes. However, mistakes are necessary because they help us improve. Finally, some learners give up too early. Learning a language is a long journey, and success comes from patience and persistence.
What daily routine would you recommend for beginners?
I recommend creating a simple routine that is easy to follow every day. Start by reviewing 5 to 10 vocabulary words from the previous day. Then learn 5 new words and use each one in a sentence. Spend about 15 minutes listening to a short English conversation, podcast, or video. After listening, repeat what you hear to improve your pronunciation. Read a short article or story for 10 to 15 minutes and underline useful expressions. Finally, write a short paragraph about your day or speak for 5 to 10 minutes about any topic. This routine may only take 45 to 60 minutes, but if you do it every day, your English will improve steadily.
How can technology help people learn English?
Technology has made learning English easier than ever before. Today, learners can use mobile apps to practice vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. They can watch educational videos on YouTube, listen to podcasts while traveling, join online English classes, or talk with language partners through video calls. Artificial intelligence can also help by checking grammar, explaining difficult words, creating quizzes, and giving speaking practice. However, technology is only a tool. It becomes effective only when learners use it consistently and actively participate in their learning.
Is it necessary to speak with native English speakers?
Speaking with native speakers is helpful, but it is not absolutely necessary in the beginning. What matters most is speaking English regularly. You can practice with classmates, teachers, friends, or anyone who is learning English. Even talking to yourself is useful. The important thing is to develop the habit of expressing your thoughts in English. Later, when you become more confident, speaking with native speakers can help improve your pronunciation, listening skills, and understanding of natural expressions.
How should beginners deal with mistakes?
They should welcome mistakes instead of fearing them. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn something new. If someone corrects your grammar or pronunciation, thank them, because they are helping you improve. Don't feel embarrassed. Even professional teachers and native speakers sometimes make mistakes. Keep a notebook where you write down your common errors and review them regularly. Over time, you will notice that you make fewer mistakes because you have learned from them.
What motivates you to continue learning English?
English opens many doors in life. It allows people to communicate with others around the world, study at international universities, travel more comfortably, and find better career opportunities. It also provides access to millions of books, websites, research papers, and educational videos. Every time I learn something new in English, I feel that my world becomes a little bigger. This motivates me to continue studying every day, even when learning becomes challenging.
What advice would you give to students who think they are too old to learn English?
I would tell them that it is never too late to learn. Children may learn languages more naturally, but adults have many advantages. Adults are more disciplined, more motivated, and better at organizing their study time. Thousands of people have learned English successfully in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and even later. Age should never be an excuse. The most important factors are determination, consistency, and a positive attitude.
Can you share some final tips for beginners?
Certainly. First, practice English every day, even if you only have a short amount of time. Second, don't be afraid to make mistakes because they are part of learning. Third, learn vocabulary in context by using words and sentences instead of memorizing isolated lists. Fourth, improve all 4 skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing, rather than focusing on only one. Fifth, surround yourself with English by watching videos, listening to podcasts, reading books, and changing your phone language to English if possible. Sixth, set small goals and celebrate your progress. Finally, remember that success comes from consistent effort, not from perfection.
Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and experience today.
I believe many beginners will feel more confident after listening to your advice. Thank you very much. It has been my pleasure to share these ideas. To everyone who is learning English, remember that every expert was once a beginner. Don't compare yourself with others. Focus on improving a little every day. Be patient with yourself, enjoy the learning process, and never stop practicing. One day you will look back and realize how far you have come. Your future depends on what you do today, so start learning, keep practicing, and believe in yourself. I wish every learner success on their English learning journey. Good luck, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for joining us today.
We hope this conversation has inspired everyone to begin their English learning journey with confidence. Keep learning, stay motivated.